couple of disgusting white-bordered mountains. Looks like a Chandra Phoenix or two against a Nightveil Spectre and a whole bunch of swamps. So one thing about Lossett, he is normally a West Coast player. A little fun story about him. He was actually on a trip for work in Boston, and he's decided on his way back to the West Coast, might as well stop in Dallas, play some Magic. But we know that in Legacy, he plays Blue-White Miracles. And in Standard, he normally plays Esper. So to see him play an aggro deck, and he was in Los Angeles last weekend, I think even he's gotten the memo that it's time to be attacking.
Yeah, again, like some people get the memo. I mean, I've about a stack of 350 unread memos on my desk about switching to aggro. Some of us choose to ignore it and then lose a little bit more.
Sure.
And we probably would win a little bit more if I actually read those memos. Joe is actually a competitor who enjoys winning a lot more, and he's going to be switching to the red deck here. And I like it. Like I said, if I wasn't so stubborn, I can see the power in these decks. And there's a reason why you see 4 mountains on one side of the board and 5 swamps on the other. This isn't limited, but they all have basic lands in place because these devotion decks and these mono in a world of shockland burn you decks are just very, very good right now. So
yeah. I mean, mono red is a pretty good place to be. Again, Boros seems like a pretty good place to be. What take you want to have a mono red? That's kind of up to you. We saw mono red aggro from Thomas Pinnell last weekend, kind of like the deck that Joe's playing right now. As a Lightning Strike's going to take down that Spectre. We saw mono red Devotion from James Gates last weekend when we were in Los Angeles. So here's a Devour Flesh to take care of one of those Phoenixes, and we just saw Boss Slide too. So there are actually 3 different versions of mono red right now to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good day to play mountains. Actually, I just saw Joe's face and now I recognize him. He actually beat me in the Invitational in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat me. Very nice guy.
In Legacy?
Yes.
Yes.
He's playing Miracles. Of course, he's one of the 2 Miracle players in the entire world. So, a deck that should be extinct because of Abrupt Decay. He's like, nope, we're good. We're just gonna battle through it and
no fear.
Yeah, no fear. Just beat these poor Esper players.
Burning Tree Emissary, Hammer of Porphyros activation. Going to sacrifice that land. Here comes a Gullum. And that Gullum, oddly enough, is not red. It is an artifact. It is an enchantment. It is a 3/3 that does have haste because of the hammer. But one thing that I found out the hard way via Brave the Elements is that Gullum is not red.
Yep, and you can tell by the sweet art here.
Yeah.
They try their best to emulate that. Yeah, Brave the Elements is a card I got blown out by the Invitational because I didn't know it was a standard card.
Yeah. It's picking up in quite a big way here. As you see, the attack here, 4/7 from Lossett, an activation of Mutavault here from Ensign. And it looks like he's going to try to trade off with the Burning Tree Emissary. That's going to happen, and Ensign's going to go down to 3.
Yeah, Devotion, again, it just doesn't really have a lot of ways to pull their life back up. And the Whip is very mana-intensive, and it's only really good if you have creatures in play. But think about it. Desecration Demon, you don't even get to control that. I mean, you think you can get a lifelink hit for 6, but a lot of times you can't.
Lossett draws another land, and he's in the enviable situation right now, Shaheen, where if drawing a land is good and drawing a spell is good.
Yeah.
And that's where you always want to be when you're playing Magic. As here is in Hero's Downfall, going to take down the token.
Yeah. This Hammer is definitely a card that put red on the map against control decks.
And there's a Skullcrack, and there's an extension of the hand. So Joe Lossett, with his take on Mono Red, is going to defeat Tim Ensign playing Black-Green Devotion 2-0. Mono Red has not dropped a game yet on camera, and if you are a fan of the Mountains, which, Shaheen, I know you are, you're not?
Maybe when I draft.
Okay,
yeah, okay. I like when I get to draft or cube draft, actually my favorite cube card is Hitsugu Second Right. And I like to play a red deck to get their life to 10 and just get them with it, just zap them. It's fun.
Oh, the stories you can probably tell.
Oh, I got some good stories for that one.
I believe you. That's a great cube card.
Yeah, that's an awesome cube card. And, red drafting, aggro